Wars, Laura? We're on our way to see a Star Wars story. Solo. I'm pretty excited to see this movie. I know my trailer reactions, my biggest thing has been like Han Solo himself. Can this guy live up to Han Solo? I guess we'll see, but overall, the movie does look fun. So my plan is to just relax the criticism part of my brain and just enjoy this movie for what it is. So let's check it out. Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durbin, and this is my spoiler-free review for Solo, a Star Wars story. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie. Admittedly, I went in with incredibly low expectations. It's not like I was dragging my feet, because come on, it's a Star Wars movie. But I was just not like over the moon for this one. And a lot of it, if you go back and you watch my trailer reactions for Solo, it's this dude who played Han, and he wasn't winning me over. Like, there was no part in any of the trailers where I felt like he brought the charisma to the role that Harrison Ford brings. But then as we got closer to the release of this movie, I made a choice, and that choice was to forgive this actor of that ahead of time, to not hold that expectation over him, because it's not fair. Nobody is Harrison Ford. I mean, in my mind, there's one Indiana Jones, and that's Harrison Ford. There's one Han Solo, and it's Harrison Ford. I like Harrison Ford. He brings a certain charisma, and he brings a certain quality to these characters that makes them amazing, and it makes them unique. Nobody else can do that. Nobody else can bring to those characters the magic that he brought to those characters. So once I settled with that conclusion, nobody can bring that, I forgave this actor of that ahead of time. I released him from the expectation of having to bring that same charisma and same quality that Harrison Ford brought. Of course, he couldn't bring it because he's not Harrison Ford. But when I released him of that expectation and I just sat back and watched the movie, I just enjoyed it for what it was. And I enjoyed what this actor did. I mean, he's not a bad actor. He did a good job and he carries the role well. But once I looked at it as something independent of what Harrison Ford could bring and just released him of that expectation, I felt a million times better. I was able to enjoy what he brought to that role of Han Solo because he doesn't do anything bad. He doesn't do anything terrible that sticks out like a sore thumb. He's a good Han. Like, it worked. And so I enjoyed that. So I was able to sit back and enjoy that. Some other trepidation I had before going into this movie is, I don't know how much you may have followed or not followed, but all the turmoil that was going on behind the scenes, that you had these other directors, Lord and Miller, and then they were let go, and then they bring in Ron Howard and basically start this thing over. And so there was just a lot of behind the scenes drama going on with this movie, and so I just had some pretty darn low expectations for it going in. But Ron Howard did a really good job with this film. It's like he knew what this film had to be. He knew what this film had to feel like. And that's exactly what this film was. This didn't feel like an epic Star Wars saga film. But it wasn't supposed to be. It was what it was. And it did a really good job with that. And I didn't feel any of that drama or turmoil or anything like that. I felt like this film knew its identity and it had fun with its identity, and so it brought me into the story. So all that behind the scenes drama that gave me all that trepidation, gone. Ron Howard did a really good job bringing everything together, and it worked. In my opinion, this film worked. So I talked about Han Solo, but my favorite character probably was Lando. I love Donald Glover. I love him on Community. That show is freaking hysterical. So I'm always excited to see actors from shows I love like that step up into these big things. And Donald Glover did an amazing job in this role. I think he was a better Lando than a Han was Han. But that, again, that's just me. But he was really good as Lando Calrissian, man. He was hysterical in this role. He played it so darn good. And there was something in Empire Strikes Back that always bugged me. Always! The fact that Lando calls Han Han.
That was never a condition of our agreement, nor was giving hand to this bounty hunter.
I mean, that's like in Superman the movie from the 70s where Jor-El kept mispronouncing the name of his own planet.
You are the only survivor of the planet Krypton.
Krypton? What is that? Come on. And so it drove me nuts in Empire Strikes Back. And they made sense out of that in this movie. They actually addressed that, and they had fun with that. I'm not going to tell you how. I'm just going to tell you that I just got a kick out of it. But there were a lot of great Star Wars-y moments like that in this film. Such as like when Han and Chewie meet and we see how their bond is forged. Like that was really clever. But you brought in the Millennium Falcon and you brought in Han Solo and you brought in Chewie and you had them all together on the... I mean, I'm telling you, that first moment... my theater just applauded and cheered. I don't know about your theater. My theater cheered, and I was cheering, man. It was really cool because it was like, this is a sacred moment. This is Han and Chewie entering the Millennium Falcon for the first time. So, like, moments like that were so incredibly awesome. So, like, I had a lot of fun when they put together moments like that. Emilia Clarke, you know, our dragon queen here from Game of Thrones, she did good in this movie. My wife, Laura, was kind of irritated with her. I didn't care. One way or the other. I had no expectation for her or her character. But watching her and Han in this movie was a lot like me watching Smallville for 10 years with Clarke and Lana. Will they, won't they? They won't! We've read the comics. We know Superman. He and Lana don't get together. We know that. So I'm watching this whole movie with this expectation of something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen because, you know, he marries Leia, they have a baby, and then the baby kills Han. I mean, we know this. This is fact now. So, I don't know. But either way, like, you know, just releasing myself from, like, kind of that moment where it's like, okay, just let go of the Clarke and Lana comparison and enjoy this for what it was. And you know what? There was a lot of fun to be had with this movie. In the end, I'm going to give this movie a solid B+. Yeah, I'm going to go with a B+. I was borderline B+, and I had to think about that. I recently gave Deadpool a B, and I did like this better than Deadpool 2. I had a lot more fun watching this movie than I did Deadpool 2, and I actually wouldn't mind buying this movie on Blu-ray and adding it to my Star Wars collection. So I did enjoy it. I did have a good time with it. I didn't have high expectations for it, and I don't think you should for this movie, because this movie's not like a huge epic movie, but it knows what it is and it's fun. So when you go watch it, it is fun. It is a good ride. So I don't think you're going to walk out of the theater disappointed. I mean, I walked out of the theater and I wasn't disappointed. I mean, it met the expectations that I had. So I had a good time with this film. It is a good one, so I'm going to go ahead and give that a B+. What did you think of Solo, a Star Wars story? Be sure to let me know in the comments. While you're there, hit that subscribe button to become a Durbanian and hit the bell by the subscribe button so you're notified the next time I drop a movie review, a theological analysis, or any number of things I do here later this week, and got a spoiler talk for this movie coming out, so make sure to hit that bell so you're notified when those videos drops. Also, do you see that card for all my patrons there? I want to say a huge thank you to each and every single one of my patrons on Patreon. I love what I do here on YouTube, and it blows my mind that you guys get behind me and you support this channel the way you do. So I want to say thank you guys so much. You don't know what an encouragement it is to have your support and how great it is to have your support. Thank you for supporting this channel. Hey, if you'd like to support this channel as well and you like what I do here, you could definitely check out my Patreon page. There's little different rewards for different levels of giving, so check all of that out. I'm Durbin. Thanks for checking out Durbania.